All right, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. And welcome to the first edition of Robert Tolnai's Real Estate and Life Show, where I hope that we can bring you information, tips to help you make better decisions for you, for your family, in real estate, and hopefully in life. Okay, now that doesn't mean I'm a psychologist or anything like that. But if there are things that we've done in our lives that we've attempted to and failed, or found a better way to do it, we'll be happy to share with you. And hopefully you don't have to learn from your own mistakes. And you can learn from our mistakes. As my real estate coach and mentor would say, if you don't know anything about him, I definitely suggest you look him up. Joshua Smith, lots of love to you. Thank you for everything that you do. One of his favorite saying is, we all know the old saying, learn from your own mistakes. But if you can learn from other people's mistakes, how much better would that be? And how much quicker could we get to where we want to get to? So if I can do that to help somebody else out there, I would love to. All right, so let's give it another minute or two to give people a chance to get on. And also to make sure that I know how to work this, since it's our first live show, and I want to be able to make sure that I see if any comments come on so I can answer them right away. All right. So there's one hot topic that I want to talk about today, and then there's a couple of questions that I get asked many times, so I definitely want to cover that. Hopefully that will help somebody out there who's either looking to buy or sell a home, or they're in the process, or they're considering it. And then if any questions that you have, just go ahead and put it in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer that for you. There you go, it works. So just wanted to make sure that works, and let's get started. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is, I see this a lot out there, and clients ask me about it all the time. Even people who are not in real estate, or they're not looking to buy or sell anything, this question comes up quite a bit because we see the name out there a lot. So people who are looking to sell a home in today's market, they certainly have a lot of options, right? And one of the option that's out there is this big, huge company, Open Door, which most of you might have heard about it. We get offers in the mail all the time. Hey, do you want to sell your home? And they are very professional. It's a great company. But there's definitely some things that you as a seller should know about the details that go into that transaction to make sure that you have all the information you need and make sure that you make the right decision for you and your family. Okay, and what I want to kind of dig into today a little bit is the additional fees that they have that they don't really disclose them up front when you first get that offer. But then they do have it once you become serious about going with them. They do break it down for you. And I also have a copy of a contract that I want to read a couple of things on there for you, so you know ahead of time what's coming ahead. Even though you might like the price that they've given you, might even be okay with the fees, which they have a ton of fees that are tagged on top of that. But first, as a disclosure, I just want to make sure I put it out there. I don't think they're an evil company or they're bad or anything like that. But I do believe that a lot of our clients out there don't know 100% exactly what they're getting into until it might be too late. And typically when they figure out what's going on and they might not be as happy with it, you're already halfway through the contract. You're probably a week or two for closing. And people will just say, forget it. I don't want to go back and start all over. I'm just going to keep going, moving forward with this, and end up selling their home for potentially what could be a lot less than they might have been able to get otherwise, okay? So if you guys have read some of my posts, the goal of doing this show is really to give you as much information as I can, as many tips as I can so you can make better decisions. And I really thought this was a good way to start, because I do have clients that ask questions about this, and we do see homes being sold and bought through Open Door more and more. And I just think it's important that you have all the information before you make that decision. So let me just pull up that contract and just read you a little bit of what they put in the contract, so you know what's coming whenever you go down that path. So first of all, when they make you the offer, they give you what's called their evaluation of what your home is worth. And they're not terrible on that, okay? So they're not gonna give you full market value, but they're gonna come pretty close. So when you see that number, most people are gonna be like, oh, that's pretty good. I'll take that. Okay, but what comes after that is what you want to be really careful on, and do your math and make sure that the bottom net number works for you. Okay, so I just had a client that went through that because he needed to be out of the house quickly and needed a cash offer, and just did not want to go on the market because he didn't want to make all the repairs that were needed in order to sell the home at a reasonable price. So he got the offer, which seemed okay for him, and he called me to kind of get my advice and see what I think. And I said, hey, just read all the email, read everything all the way through, and see what the net bottom line is to you. And of course, after you did that, that's typically Open Door's fees, I think, are right at about 9.5% off that evaluation number that they give you initially. So that's a lot of money, right? Like, a lot of people complain that sometimes, hey, I think, as a real estate agent, charging 6% commission is too much. Oh, it's not. Okay, when you look at the fees that other companies charge, like somebody like Open Door, it's 9.5%. Okay, so that's a lot more than it would cost for you to sell it regularly on the market. And then once you accept their offer and you get under contract, here are some of the language that they have on there. Let me just pull up the contract here. So there, again, I just want to reiterate that I'm not against Open Door. I've had probably 4 or 5 transactions with them in the last year and a half. They're a great company. All that I want to accomplish with this today is that you, as a seller, if you end up going that route, just read everything before you sign. Feel free to give me a call anytime. I'll be happy to help and look through it with you. Obviously, that's not going to cost you anything. I'll be more than happy to help. And then I'll give you a couple of other options at the end of this if you're in that position, okay? Because I certainly understand sometimes listing your home on the market and waiting, a month or 2 or 3 till it gets sold, because even if we sell it right away, which in today's market, I've been blessed and lucky enough to move these properties super quick, because we're in a seller's market, so they sell very fast. The buyer's going to need typically 30 to 45 days to close on the loan. So, you put it on the market, you're looking at probably at least 2 months, maybe 3, to get it sold. So once they accept your contract, here's how they name their fees, I guess is the best way to do it. In this contract particularly, it's $14,484 Open Door experience. So that's the experience of listing with Open Door. It's $14,000 in this transaction specifically. And just so it makes more sense for you, if you want to do the numbers and figure out the percentages, this is for a sales price at $241. Okay, and then on top of that, they have another fee that is called market risk change fee, which is $1,207. And then they have, it's literally like 12 or 15 lines of language that they add in there to protect themselves, which is okay. It makes sense. That's not a bad thing. But all I'm saying is you have to read these things and make sure you're okay with these things before you agree to sell your home through that process, okay? typically they're gonna have you pay the HOA transfer fee and seller fees and as many fees as they can. And then once you agree to all of that, they're still going to do a home inspection, just like any other buyer will. And they're going to ask either for repairs or ask for more money taken off the price, depending on what they find. Okay, which is not unusual. That's going to happen even with a regular buyer. But again, I want you to be aware that this is not a typical cash investor transaction where an investor will just come in, give you the cash, and you don't have all these extra additional fees. Okay, so I hope that helps. Again, I am not against Open Door. I've worked with them. They're a great company to work with. But just know as a seller that if you take that route, be sure that you understand all the fees and what your true net bottom line will be by the time you close, okay? Because I'm almost willing to bet that most times, or more times than not, if you list it traditionally with us, you probably will be able to net more because we will help get the property listed right. We'll get it up to par so it looks beautiful with professional photography, and we'll be able to get it sold at a higher price. And then again, like I said, our commission is probably going to be less at 6% than their 9.5% fee that they have on their transaction for the Open Door experience. So let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to add to that. So I think that pretty much covers it. All right. So if you're planning on listing your home or selling your home and you're strapped for time, you need to sell it quick, you need to sell it for cash, and Open Door sounds like a good idea, not a problem. Give them a shot, see what they can offer you, see what they can do for you, but make sure that you read everything, make sure you understand what your bottom line is, what your net that you're gonna walk away is. And still, before you sign anything, please give me a call, okay? And the reason I say that is there are other options out there that are similar to that. So my group of investors that I have, they're sitting and just waiting with cash in hand. They are looking to pick up properties, and they're looking for ugly properties, good-looking properties, anybody that needs to go out and sell it for cash and quick. Anything like that, they are super excited and ready to get into the market. But here is the best part about it. So if you end up being in that position and one of my investors wants to purchase your properties, you don't pay any commission, okay? There's no fees. All you pay is your closing costs through the title company. Zero commission you pay. They will take the property over for you. You let them know when you want to move. They'll give you the cash. They'll still do an inspection, but typically they will not ask you for any repairs or additional money off the price, unless there's a huge problem with the house, which a huge problem could be something like the roof is going to cave in and fall. Maybe the AC is not working. Some big item like that. If it's little stuff, they're not going to sweat it because they're going to come in there, redo everything, make it beautiful, put it back on the market, or use it as a rental. So I hope that helps. So if you're in that position where you feel like you need to get out, that you got to move, I mean, there's so many different reasons that could happen. Quick job transfer, whatever it may be, and you need to be out of the house quickly. And you don't want to pay any commission or the 15% or 9.5% Open Door experience fee, anything like that, I will be happy to help you, put you in touch with one of my investors who are happy and excited and can't wait to get into another property. Just call me, text me, and let me know before you sign on the dotted line with somebody else. We might not be always the best option. I don't know. Every situation is different. But just get that second opinion, right? This is a huge, huge transaction in anybody's life. Buying or selling a home. It's the biggest asset most of us will own anytime. So get a second opinion, get a third opinion. I don't care. Just make sure you do what's best for you. Because Open Door might not be the best. We might not be the best. So just look at all of the options that you have. Put it all next to each other. What's the bottom line for you? How are you going to get more money in your pocket? That's it, right? That's what I would do, right? We all want to get the best that we can for our home. and move on to our next adventure or whatever it is that we're gonna do next. So that's it. I hope that helps. And if you have any questions on any of that we covered today, just comment or call me or text me. I'll be happy to answer. And for future shows, if there's any topic that you want to see covered, if there's any questions that you have on anything, feel free to just text me or email me, and I'll certainly get that information for you. So that's it. In closing, just keep in mind, I'm here to help. Anything that I can do, any questions that I can answer, I'll be happy to do them. And it's an awesome holiday weekend. Be safe out there. Have a good time. Whatever you're going to do, enjoy it. And anytime I can help, let me know. I'll be happy to do it. That's it. That's all I got for today. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.